Great. Well, welcome everybody to TNG Online Connect. So if you haven't joined before, the whole purpose of TNG Online Connect is to obviously widen your network beyond just your group. So we've got, it's available to all TNG members across the country. And the purpose is to obviously connect, but also bring you some awesome guest speakers throughout the course of the year, speak on certain topics. I mean, we've had a huge range from life coaches, business coaches, investment advice, property, accounting, legal aid, all sorts. And obviously, if there is an area that you are particularly interested in, definitely reach out to your group manager, or if you are the group manager, reach out to Melanie or Mark or myself, and we can definitely look at bringing a speaker in. So today, to kick off, being all things TNG, we've got Mark, who is the founder of TNG. So what we're going to be going through today is a bit of a plan for TNG for 2023 to help you maximize your investment. And we have three kind of focus points for the year, and that is engagement, growth, and the recognition and referral system. So Mark's going to be discussing why you should be networking in this current environment. Also believes is that networking is the key to business growth and success. He's also, and this is the part that I like, he's very witty and personable. So definitely looking forward to the session today, Mark.
Have you done, Dan? Is that it?
I'm done. Yeah, that's me.
Thanks for that. I don't have any jokes at all. But look, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through a PowerPoint. So there's going to be a bit of talking, but with the help of Malcolm, prepared a survey at the end of last year and sent it out to our members. And I just want to share some of the feedback, which has then led us to what we believe 2023 needs to look like in regards to getting our members back and engaged, I guess, to some of the meetings, growing both the groups and TNG as well. And we're lucky enough to have Alan, who's going to launch down in Rotorua for us very, very soon, 1st of March. And then I want to finally talk about a referral scheme, which gives members something we think is very unique, and it's worked before, but we've expanded it for the privilege of being able to introduce and bring visitors along to TNG. So I'll just pop into the PowerPoint and we will get right into it. So he says, please work. Slideshow. Oh, okay. Let's do that again. Once more. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we did as I said, a member survey at the end of last year, and we had a pretty good response across all of the groups, right across the areas that we are in New Zealand. And the first question that we asked our members was, how likely are you to recommend the networking group? And 77% said that they were very likely to recommend us. And although we're happy with that, we'd really like to know what the other 23% thought, I guess. But as a starting point, that's really good from our point of view. The second question that we asked our members was, why did you give us that score? And then we started to get some, what I would call really strong trends around what people were thinking and why they liked us. And obviously you guys can see these, but there's that extensive and supportive community of business owners, and that was a common theme. And we all help each other to grow businesses, either through referrals or solid business advice. And the solid business advice, the sharing of business advice, was a very strong thing as well. Very, very strong theme that came through. People saying that they'd been in TNG some for 8 years, some for the longer they were in TNG, the more business they were getting. That was a very common theme as well. And a lot of them had grown their business hugely through the network. And then there were the people who liked that it wasn't too structured, that it was a little bit more casual, and with a good connection vibe. And obviously the people who really appreciate other business owners with passion, and the people that are really in this to give back to others. And that's some of us that have been in business for a while, I guess. And they enjoy the meaningful conversations with other business owners. And so you can see what the members are thinking, and this came through quite a lot. And again, there was this nice balance between formality, so having the agenda and following that, and the casual Kiwi kind of Kiwiana networking that we try to provide for people. But they were the main sort of themes that came through. These ones were quite interesting. So what did you value most from your networking group? 30% of people strongly valued the socialization with other business owners. And we all know that, I guess, networking has to have a social element. You need to connect, and you need to like and trust the members of the group to have a really good, strong group. Education was important, 7.5%. So people are looking to learn. They're coming to networking, to TNG, to learn and to grow their education. And of course, we offer the Octopus platform, which is a huge education tool for all of our members. Referrals was 32.5%. Now, I would have expected that to be higher, but it was 32.5%. And then of the other 30%, they were a mixture of all of the above. And the other really strong one that came through was that people wanted to build their self-confidence. So they wanted to be more confident in being around other business owners. They wanted to be able to present to people, both in a 60 seconds and a 10-minute, but they really wanted to up their game in regards to how they came across professionally and build their own confidence to be comfortable doing business with other people in a what I would call a safe environment and amongst other business owners. So that was actually really good. This question started to ring some alarm bells along with the feedback we've been getting from our area group managers for a lot of last year. What would you like TNG to do to make your networking experience better? The biggest one by far was accountability. Secondly, proactively seeking and advertising for new members to join a TNG networking group. So that's TNG actively helping to put visitors into groups and asking the members to step up and bring more visitors to the groups. And then you get back to the accountability, and this just kept coming through again. And then the other big thing that people want is they want to see their groups grow. They really want to see their groups grow. If they're a group of 15 or they're a group of 12 or they're a group of 20 something, they want to see constant visitors, they want to see new members, and they want to see their groups grow. And then we got quite a few of these comments, but this is a very common theme. I also think there needs to be some kind of attendance requirement. Well, a lot of you won't know, including our AGMs, but our contract says that if you miss 5 meetings in a year, we can terminate your membership, but we've never really gone down that path. We've expected members to turn up and be engaged. So we have something in our contract that we will use if we need to, in agreement with the AGMs. And this person was very honest. I've missed a lot of meetings this year, but I probably could have gone to more if there was a bit more pressure. And I don't particularly like that word, but pressure too. It's obviously frustrating when you turn up, especially when you're presenting as the 10-minute speaker, I assume she means, and there isn't a lot of people around the table, and there wouldn't be anybody here that doesn't agree with that. And we got a lot of these comments about more accountability from members, more accountability for turning up. How do we grow our groups? How do we get new members into our groups? You know, what is happening? We're not seeing people turning up. what is there anything that we can do? So what I want to do is just in answer to this, and we can have some open conversation, is we've put a lot of thought into what our real goals and our theme needs to be for 2023 at least. And really there are three things. And the first one has to be engagement. And when we say engagement, we're talking about engagement from all of our members. So if you are taking, and I'm looking at Theo, so I'm going to pick on insurance. If you're taking an insurance spot in a group and you are not showing up, then that is not fair on the group. If you have a genuine reason, so there are health reasons, family reasons, or whatever, then that reason should be conveyed to your group so that they can either put your membership on hold or talk to you about the best solution, or with Melanie or with I, it doesn't actually matter. But members need to turn up, and they need to turn up regularly. The fact that they think that there's no pressure to turn up actually doesn't work. So a very serious message to all of our members this year will be, you need to start showing up, because actually we have a list of insurance people. You cannot get into a group anywhere in insurance. We have a list of them. And for quite a lot of the other professional services, we have a list as well. Accountants, you can't get in for a lot of the groups. So engagement means that a really good meeting is being delivered by a group manager. So is your group manager delivering a meeting that follows the agenda? Because that's structured, and a lot of people talked about having structure at their meetings. Is the meeting fun? Do people leave happy and smiling? Are they engaged? If not, we need to be thinking about whether our group manager is the right person and who else might do that role. Who's going to deliver a really good meeting for our members? And Melanie and I were lucky to be invited to Cambridge before Christmas. And wow, what an awesome group. So the people that it was their Christmas meeting, the people that couldn't turn up had all put in their apologies early. The table was full, the energy was on fire, the meeting was on fire. They had your traditional Secret Santa, and everyone was fizzing. Is that a good account of it, Melanie? Yeah. So the first thing is engagement. And from our AGMs, we need to make sure that our AGMs are making sure that visitors feel welcome, that our members are getting good value, and that everything is working well, and reinforcing that positive environment and making sure that everything in the meeting runs well. The banner is up, the business card box is out, the agenda is being followed, and that we look like a professional networking group, not like a coffee group. So my point to everybody is if your TNG feels a bit like a coffee group, that's down to the members, that's down to the person that is running the meetings, the group manager, and that's down to the AGM who's also allowing that to happen. So we need to change that culture, and we need to be better at providing an environment where everybody wants to be engaged. But engagement starts with everybody turning up. So that is our big thing. The growth part of it is about inviting people to come to TNG. And I'll get to the referral scheme in a minute and how we're going to do that. If I can just, no, I'll go back. Sorry. If I can just talk to you about how the easiest way to grow a group, and this is based on 15 years of both the networking group and other larger networking groups. I've grown networking groups from 15 to 38, 39 people, and there's people that are in this Zoom that have been there with me doing that. But there are a few little tools that we're going to roll out through the groups, which are going to help our area group managers in particular, but also our group managers who are delivering the meetings, but all of our members to be able to figure out who they need at their meetings and to help the groups grow, because that's really important, is growth. We need visitors, but we need those visitors to become new members. So we need them to feel welcome. We need them to feel valued. We need them to want to come back. And we basically need to show them some TNG love. because Theo will tell you he spends time with every visitor, either prior, if he can, or after the meeting, to make sure that he has every opportunity for them to join. And that's amazing. And we see new members in all of his groups all of the time. But we have a little tool called the tic-tac-toe. And I'm just going to show you what that looks like. And I'll pick Theo again. But so for Theo writes this, all the members will do this at a meeting, and then it will come back to the AGM to facilitate, and I'll take you through that. So Theo will put his business in the middle, which is insurance. And around those, Theo will put all of the people who would be good referrers for him. So for Theo, that is more likely to be professional people. It may be accountants, it may be lawyers, it may be people that are new into business. He will write around there as many of those categories that he wants and needs in the group. And each member does the same thing. So let me pick another one. Who are we going to pick? For a digital marketer, they may need a sign writer, they may need a graphics person, they may need an SEO company, they may only do websites. So they will fill that up with all of the people that will be important to their business. So each member will have a list of people, including the people that are in the group, that they need to help them grow their business. So who is going to help them grow their business? What happens then, and this is an example, and it's a long example, but we'll come up with a list of people that the group doesn't have. So it may only be 5 or 6 people that we target, but they will come up with a list. And at that stage, the group members will be asked who they know that provides that service. So if you are looking for an accountant, they will be asked if their accountant, who their accountant is, and whether they would invite them. And if they do know an accountant, but it's not their accountant, who else do they know? So it might be somebody that they know through networking, but it might not be their accountant. So, and you'll do the same for all of these, and we will end up with each member having at least one category that they are now going to invite. So now we have a group buy-in for everybody to bring someone and look for somebody. So we're not having constant visitors days trying to attract people. We are literally saying, here's a plan. We need these 10 people in our group, and I'll choose 10. These are the ones we want. And these 2 people are going to look for an accountant. These 2 people are going to look for a lawyer. These 2 people are going to know some sign writers. They're going to invite them. And we're going to work through that list as a group, and we're all going to be accountable, and we're all going to grow our group. It's not down to the AGM. It's not down to the GM. It's down to the group. What TNG will do is TNG will get this list, and where you don't know a building inspector or an architect, we will try and hunt them down for you with telemarketing in your local area. So we will support you in the categories that nobody knows in the group. I think you'll find that everybody in the group knows at least one of those people that they can invite. So that'll give us a list of people to help grow the group. We'll also give you, and this is not a definitive list, but this is a list, and it's quite significant, of all of the types of businesses we've had or have in TNG. And it's extensive. So that will help your members to look at who they need. So we'll give you that list as a group to do the exercise together. So what we're looking for is joint buy-in from everyone, good engagement from everyone, and really good growth for the group that is being supported by TNG and by everybody in the group. That way all of the groups will grow, and they'll grow organically. For those of you who are in other networking, there is a lot more pressure on you to bring visitors regularly. We don't want to be that dictatorship type of role, but we do want everybody to be accountable now. So it's important, and our members want that. That's what our members are telling us. So it's really important that we focus on that growth and that engagement. Engagement first, get everyone to the table, have a really good meeting, be positive, and then grow, 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 baby. So I just want to finish off with the TNG referral and recognition program for all of our members. And then we can have a bit of a discussion if you like. But so, and we ran the first part of this quite successfully, probably just before the world changed and we did all this online stuff. But for every new visitor, any TNG member introduces that joins, they will be given 2 free months added to their membership. So if you introduce 6 visitors, your next year's membership is absolutely free. And this was hugely successful when we ran it last time. And we think that's a really good incentive for people to help grow the groups. The second one is because we want to grow in Rotorua, and we want to grow in Christchurch, and we want to grow in all of the other areas as well. The second one is for every introduction to someone who opens a new TNG group, they will be given 6 months free membership. So Theo introduced us to some people who opened in Christchurch for us. Theo, when that group gets to 12 members, which is generally basically the second meeting, then Theo gets 6 months added to his membership. There's some terms and conditions, but I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And you all know that our visitors' first 2 visits are free. Now, there are some real unique things about this. Our competitors, big or small, can't do this. So it's a really unique offering to our members. So if a member gives us 2 people who opens 2 groups, their next year's membership is free. The last thing that I would like to say is that a TNG membership, with the increases that I've seen in other networking organizations, which is because they've lost so many members, they think it's fine to put up their membership fee significantly. Our membership is nearly a quarter of our competition's. So think about the value for money when we're talking to visitors and talking to people about coming along. We average between 22 and 25 meetings a year. If you miss 5 meetings, people won't know who you are. So I'm just going to stop sharing this and we can have a bit of open conversation, and Melanie or I can answer some questions. So thank you, Jed.
Yeah, Mark, Tibor, just wanting to say, look, I think this is a great initiative and I think that it's needed. Have you got any thoughts around the period of time that a member might be missing or missing certain meetings? Because don't forget, because we meet fortnightly, if a person misses one, then it's basically a month before people meet that person again. So, you know, my thoughts would be anything between 4 or 5 meetings in a 6-month period should be automatic, almost something to.
So I think the first thing for our members is to understand if there's a problem.
Yes, of course.
And I'll use Theo because he's sitting right here. But if a member doesn't come to a meeting and Theo doesn't hear from them, or they certainly don't come to 2, then Theo will phone them.
Yeah.
And they'll either take your call or they won't, or they'll phone you back. So that's a good indication of where the relationship is with the member and the group. So if they have a genuine reason, then that's something to discuss with us and we can put their membership on hold or whatever that is. We do that a lot for people. Change in circumstances, you know, as I said, family, new baby, lots of things change when you're a small business owner in particular. The second thing is that if a member is a no-show, we expect that our members will apologize in advance.
I agree.
So what we need to say to people is, we need respect for each other. The minimum we want in this group is respect. So respect means, and I saw a really good email from one of our Tauranga group managers yesterday, because 6 people apologized, saying, thank you so much for apologizing. we really need to get everyone back at the table, and these are the reasons why. So a member needs to apologise. That's the bare minimum. There needs to be a really good reason, because clearly I would call it, and I'm only speaking for Auckland, but I would call it a bit of a COVID hangover, and I'm a bit sick of it, to be honest with you. I think people need to get out of bed and get to networking. If they can't get to North Harbour this morning and they can't be bothered to apologise, perhaps they need to go, or perhaps we need to understand why they're not showing up. Because A, they're letting their own business down, they're letting themselves down, and they're treating you almost with contempt.
Yep.
I mean, if I have a meeting with Paul Foster and I'm 5 minutes late, I'm texting Paul and saying, I'm really sorry I'm 5 minutes late, because that's respect. If I no-show, Paul and my relationship is now probably pretty much burnt, unless there's been a life event. So we can't allow people to treat us with anything else except for respect. So let's get the message across that it's you're portraying yourself in your business. You need to be professional. If people are no-show for 3 meetings in a row, Melanie or I will be having a serious conversation about them moving on.
Good.
We're not going to put up with that anymore. We want paying people to get really good value from being at our networking groups.
Agreed. Yeah.
Does that answer the question? So
yes,
it's a case-by-case basis.
Yep.
And this isn't about slapping people on the hand. It's saying, hey, we're a real, we want to be a really good networking group. We want Paul Foster, who's a real estate agent, to get really good referrals. We want, Alan to be referred clients in Rotorua. And so show up. That's the first thing. Do a really good 60 seconds. They get a networking book that takes them 2 minutes to read. They get really good help and training from the members and the group managers and the area group managers. Do a really good 10 minutes. Be personable, be likable, be trustworthy, and actually the group will grow. Whenever we speak to visitors that come to groups and they don't want to join, the first thing they say is, oh, I went, there wasn't much energy, or, there weren't many people there. Have you got another group I can go to? So that's reflective on the group, as I said. It's reflective on the energy and the person leading the meeting. And it's also reflective on the area group manager, so all of us, and reflective on TNG. Sorry, anybody else got any comments or questions? What about the referral? Do you think that we're going to get some traction with people?
Yeah, I think we will. I've spoken to a couple of the members when I presented it at our last meeting, and there was a lot of positive comments around that. So yes, I do believe we will get some traction.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, totally agree, Mark. I forget the name of the author, but there's one book. How good to great. Someone else will know the name of the book. But one of the key things there. Yeah. One of the key things is really getting the right people on the bus, and then driving that bus. It'll happen. Just sharing one of my groups. We've got on board a young, super fired up mortgage advisor, young lady, very smart, very personable, well connected, and literally over the last couple of weeks, she's invited about 5 or 6 visitors, and sometimes, it's just getting the right people in the group, and they just naturally feed on that and just bring people in, and absolutely powerful. So yeah, going through a bit of a renaissance in one of our groups, or regrowing after all the, the dislocations of the last 12 months, with lockdowns and goodness knows what. But as far as incentives go, with that respective particular person, if they've already invited about 5 or 6 people and they join, is that retroactive?
Yeah.
Great. Excellent.
Awesome. She'll get a year's
That'll be a real motivation. Absolutely.
Okay. Any other comments about the survey or the feedback? Is that, Baptiste, how's your group? Are you feeling that people have been a little bit kind of...
Yeah.
Do you think that by just giving the message that you have to be there that you need to be accountable, and that, you know, we want to grow, that people might start to just change their attitude a little bit?
Yes, I will. I think so, because we are finding there is a lot of slack. And you said this COVID business has gone too long. People are still trying to get into the networking activity and not making it, or just giving all sorts of excuses.
Yeah.
And Nigel is here, our group manager, and he might be able to throw some light. But yes, giving the incentives probably would help to a great extent. But yeah, it's all about making the group vibrant, making it more presentable to visitors. It's not that visitors come in, but they don't stay on because of the vibrancy.
Nigel? Comments, Nigel?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree completely. It's something we've been pushing quite a bit in ORACI the last couple of meetings. We had a spell of several people, one key one in particular, who didn't turn up at all last year. And we got to the stage of saying, that's it, he's gone. And then he suddenly turned up the first meeting this year, as if nothing had happened. So we turned it around, and I've locked him in as a 10-minute for the next time to make sure he turns up for 2 meetings, and we see what happens from there and try and get momentum. But Baptist is a very good example. When he was unable to attend, he put a sub in place, and that person was a great contact. Spoke with him a couple of times, and I'm meeting with him early next week. So see if we can engage with him as well. And I think that's one of the keys, is making sure that if someone cannot come along, don't just send apologies, but send someone else in your place.
Yeah.
If you're a one-man band, it's harder, but we all know someone who may be able to step in.
Yeah. So I guess that's the other thing we haven't really pushed, is that you know, you have a requirement, and again, it's in your contract, but we don't want to be those people unless we have to. You have a requirement to ask somebody to come along. So if that's Paul Foster and he can't come, he's area group manager, so he will be there 99% of the time. But if he can't come, he's got people in his team. Perhaps one of those people could just come and wave the flag that day. It doesn't matter how much networking experience they've got. You know, if you're a small business owner, it's difficult. I get that. If you're a one-man band, Rich, it's difficult, isn't it? But, you know, maybe there's someone who would just enjoy coming along to see how the networking meeting goes and in place of you. So it's a very strong option. It's not something that we want to force on people, because not everybody can do that, but it needs to be an option, because when people visit a group, they do look at numbers, rightly or wrongly. If you've got 20 people in your group, they'll join. If you've got 12, they have a conversation with Melanie. And if they're having a conversation with Melanie about other groups, they haven't been totally endeared to your group for whatever. There's other people that will visit a group of 12 and join immediately because they make 4 or 5 connections. But is there any more feedback around what we're trying to do around, is anybody surprised by what we got in the survey? I don't think we were, because we were hearing it loud and clear anyway. But there really is a need now to engage, to grow, and to get the members to buy into all of those things. We'll support all of our members, all of our group managers, and all our area group managers, and anything you need to do, whether that is making phone calls, whether that's getting people into your groups that you can't find categories for, whether that's getting rid of people out of your groups because you don't want to do that, or there's a problem, then we're happy to do that. So,
hey Mark, sorry to interrupt, but I have to go. I've just been picked up.
Thanks, Alan.
So,
we'll see you very soon.
Yeah, I look forward to getting to know everybody over the next 3 months.
Right. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See you later.
Yeah. So,
I think people need reminders sometimes of the categories for the business. That quadrant, which I hadn't seen before, I quite liked. We've got your business in the middle, and what are the 4 categories which would most assist your business. So I just, periodically, if we just round the group, it's like, okay, well, what would support your business? Because as with any group, there's likely more members getting more referrals than others, but it's like if somebody's not, it's like, how can we help you? What are the categories? okay, who knows somebody in that area? So I think it's a reminder of those categories quite regularly.
Yeah.
So people can get their radars out for those specific ones.
And I think that having visited your group end of last year, Paul, you know, you get the older the group, the more lackadaisical they get about everything. And, you know, then there's no one sitting around the table. And by that, I mean 10 for your group, you know, like when there was 20 a few weeks before, and everyone's looking around going, well, you know, who's responsible for this, rather than saying, hey, what do we need to do here? So we're going to get buy-in from all angles, I think, and make sure that, you know, we're supporting everybody. So we're going to send all of the area group managers and we're going to present to the ones that weren't here today, because there's members and there's all sorts of people here. And we're going to give you just the presentation with regards to the tic-tac-toe, the quadrant, Paul, and all the categories and that, which you can do with your groups. And we're going to give you the whole presentation as well, which was the survey and what our members said, which we think is really important. This isn't what we think or what Theo thinks or what Malcolm Jensen thinks. This is about what the members think and want currently, and how we deliver a better experience for them. So this is what they want and what we want to do. Theo.
Yeah, Mark, just on the question about if someone can't attend a meeting, you know, being a small business, you know, sole operator, whatever, they can't attend, just an alternative solution is, you know, we all work with close associates of one form or other. And just something that I've sort of come up with recently, as you know, I miss very, very few meetings, but on the occasion that I do have obligations out of town or whatever the case might be, I want someone to be there so that there's no loss of energy from the group. And I have a relationship with, for example, Saffron Business Insurances. You know, I refer them fire and general insurance because that's not my specialty. I do life and health. But I've made an arrangement now, and because we have that relationship, that if I'm on a rare occasion unable to attend, they will step into that and attend on my behalf. They'll present as their business, but they'll present as my business as well. Yeah. But the key thing is we all have these relationships with people that we work closely with in our respective areas. And why not invite someone else to come in, maybe pay for their breakfast, or they can pay for their own coffee themselves. But if they come and they like it, then they might like to join in their own right. You know, it's just another way of just sort of keeping the whole thing ticking and creating, maintaining the energy around the table.
I mean, I would call them a super sub. So it's almost a group, you know, you can have a group substitute. So when someone can't make it, they independently contact that super sub and he delivers his 60 seconds for his business, so long as it's not conflicting with anyone, and for whatever that member is. Yeah. So each group can have a super sub. It works quite well. But so look, I don't want to hold everyone up. And I mean, Dan, I'm pretty much done if everybody is. Maybe we could just do a quick 60 seconds. Melanie, have you got anything?
Yeah, Baptist has got his hand up.
Yeah, go. I'm out, Dan. You're in control.
All righty.
Yeah, one minute. I have never seen my area manager at any point of time. So who is our area manager?
In the ORACI group, your area group manager is Nigel.
Oh, Nigel, okay.
Yeah.
I've always seen him. I have always seen him then.
Did he just stitch you up, Nigel?
Nigel, you're not as outstanding as you thought you were, mate.
Mate, covert marketing.
Yeah.
Melanie, do you have anything to add before we just wrap up with 60 seconds, maybe, with Dan?
I think that it's definitely clear the steps that we can take, and obviously going through getting this out to the other group managers so they know. And yeah, and if you do have suggestions or recommendations, just send them back. Constant feedback loop is the best thing. So definitely, and thanks, Mark, again. And for all of you guys' input. So what we'll do now is we'll just do a quick wrap around the room just to make sure everyone knows who everyone is. So what we'll do is I will go around the room, just give a quick 30 seconds of who you are, what you do, and maybe watch which group you're involved in as well. So let's, we've got Trevor back online with videos. Let's start with you, Trevor.
Hi everyone. So I'm Trevor Hewitt. I've got a business called Empower Business and Accounting Solutions. I'm based up in Kerry in the Northland. I've been doing it for about 15 years, do lots of management accounting, some bookkeeping, some business advice, some systems, so a bit of a generalist in that area. Obviously got a very rural market up here. Our sort of networking is a little bit different. We've had some ongoing issues, which we all experienced with COVID and what have you. So that our group at the moment is dormant, but I'm already speaking to Melanie about getting it restarted. Now we've got some of those issues out of the way. We've got lots of incomers to Kerry from Auckland and other areas. So I'm seeing that there's a big potential to get the group going, and I think I learned probably a lot from some of the issues that we had in the first iteration of the group. So speaking to obviously Melanie and Mark and seeing what they're on the slides today has been very useful from that aspect. So yeah, so it's Trevor Hewitt from Empower Business and Accounting Solutions in Kerry. Thanks.
Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate that. Baptist.
One accountant, another accountant. Baptist from Tax Advantage. We help businesses to prosper and grow by offering services like accounting, taxation, business advisory, auditing, and business valuations. Our main focus is on small to medium scale businesses having a turnover of less than $5 million. We are at presently looking for not-for-profit organizations who are struggling to get funding, and we can help them out to get those funds which are required for them to provide their esteemed services. So if you know anyone who are struggling, not-for-profit organizations, please send them to us and we will get them the funds they require. That is Baptist from Tax Advantage.
Awesome. Thanks, Baptist. Paul Foster, here from you.
Hi, so I'm Paul Foster. I'm from Ray White Takapuna, and I am the area manager for the North Harbour Group. So look, my specialty is here on the North Shore, having worked in here in this market for around 15 years, been across all markets, and really focus is being able to assist people through all these markets, not reliant on a point market to be able to put a deal together. And that's just through strong negotiation and really in this down market as well, there's deals to be done. So the type of referral I'm always looking for is somebody that just wants some good guidance and point them in the right direction and help them into home ownership or help get them sold for the best market price. So that's about me. That's Paul from Ray White Takapuna, area manager of North Harbour.
Thanks, Paul. Nigel.
Thanks, Sam. Baptist, I think a lot of us here would qualify as non-profit organisations. Wasn't designed that way, it's just the way it's worked out with the economy. Nigel Eakins, Phoenix Consultancy, you might focus on back-end systems and processes because that's where the extra profit is hiding in plain sight. Looking at the automations that should be in place that aren't, or the automations that aren't being properly enabled. Key thing, looking at getting the knowledge out of your staff because that's where the real value is. And you capture that and develop it, you're increasing your bottom line. So those are the key topics I focus on. And just one quick segue with the tic-tac-toe. When Garth was still with us, probably every year I would get him to do that as a 10-minute presentation to the various groups. And that then looked as the springboard to then bring people in for visitor sessions. And I found it very effective over the years. So seeing that relaunched again in this way is going to be very effective. And that's the 2 months free membership has always been a good promotion, and I think it's great to re-emphasize it there. It's a great tag, so look forward to it. Thanks, Dan.
Awesome. Thanks, Nigel. Nick.
Oh, that's me. Hi, everyone. Start with me, Nick from NDT Consulting Computer Services. I switch things off and on again so that you don't have to. And if that doesn't work, I'm fairly proficient in providing what we call the technical tap to make things work again. So I deal with anything technology-wise, from computers to smart TVs. I also do websites, website hosting. So anything tech, that's what I'm after. And these days, anyone and everyone deals with tech, so anyone is a potential client. I've just been voluntold into my position as the AGM of TNG Rosedale. So this is my first foray into this. It's very interesting hearing some of the things going around, and I agree with everything being said. Also a bit of a tough ask for me, because our last meeting, which was the first one I was supposed to be taking charge of, we were all busy washing away and blowing away, and our next meeting is this coming Tuesday, so I'm going to have to see how that one goes. But yeah, looking forward to it, and good to meet you all.
Right. Well, thanks for that, Nick. Malcolm.
Yeah, greetings, everybody. My name is Malcolm Jensen. I'm a business coach working with a national advisory group, Business Success Partners. In essence, we help business owners get clarity in their life and in their business life, to get balance in their life, to put their business in the position it should be, behind their own health and key relationships in their life. And we get cash in their pocket. And obviously, in order to get cash, we need to make sure that the business is trading profitably, there's a return on investments and so on. I work with SMEs, and there's 600,000 of us in New Zealand, including the cockies and courier drivers, but many people would understand that the small business market, and TNG represents that group really well as a big part of our economy. And an ideal referral for me is someone that is in that situation where they're either not clear why they got into business, or they're suffering some pain. And you know, that's my passion. What gets me out of bed to help them to get those three things back in their business. Just on a session note, Dan, well run, and Mark, that's a great overview with some great initiatives. I just taken on board for my sins the leadership role in Cambridge, and as Mark mentioned, was part of that initiative prior to Christmas. So hearing your feedback, which seems to be pretty consistent with what the survey's shown, is excellent. And I think 2023 is going to be a great year for TNG, but more importantly, of course, for our members. We're a membership organisation fundamentally. So that's me, Malcolm Jensen, with BSP Advisory.
Thanks, Malcolm. Gemma.
Hi, I'm Gemma. I've been working with Melanie from about September, October last year. I help her with the administration side of TNG. So that's me.
Make things work.
Yeah.
Perfect. Tibor.
Yeah, hi everybody. Tibor Mackel from Better Business Strategies, and I help you as business owners find that free time that you've always wanted from your business. That helps you gain more profits and being able to utilize that as your business needs. I help businesses in general get their system structures and all other things in place. And if you can see behind me, it says success. That's where a whole lot of different things starts happening from. So my ideal client would be somebody that has got some challenges like cash flows, etc., that you think of that need my help. Have them give me a call. I've got my name and my telephone number right in front there so that you can pass it on. I'm also the area manager for both Botany and Howick, and looking forward to our visitors days to try and bolster the groups again. You know, government rubbish lockdown policies. Both groups were well over 20, and we're struggling to get going again. We're down to, I think the one is 9 and the other one is 6 or something like that. So it's really taken a big toll on us over the last couple of years. So looking forward to the initiatives.
Awesome. Thanks, Tibor. Theo.
Theo from You Protect and Set Insurance Services, personal and business insurance specialist, area group manager for Orewa, Silverdale, Hibiscus Coast and Warkworth, and also a foundation colleague of Nigel's in Ellerslie. Some of you may know from a previous life, I operated Theo's Greek Taverna. One night, one of my waiting staff comes up to me and says, Theo, we've got a big problem at table 4. There's a lady there very upset. Could you go and talk to her, please? I said, absolutely. I pop over to the lady. Excuse me, ma'am, I understand that you've got a problem. Is there something I can help you with? She said, yes. I just came in. I don't know how I did this, but I caught my stocking somewhere and I've got this horrible ladder down my leg and I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what to do. I say, no worry, we'll sort it out. I went, got a bit of paper and a pen, said, please write down exactly what it is that you need and I'll go down and I'll get it from the supermarket for you and I'll be right back. She said, would you? Absolutely. And it's on the house too. She said, wow. So anyway, I told the guys I'm going out for a few minutes, jumped in the car, went to the Chaffers Marina, bought the stuff back, gave it to her in a little brown paper bag. Off she trots to the ladies, comes out $1 million and had a wonderful evening and lit the place up. What's this got to do with insurance? Simply the fact that clients to us are the center of our universe. We do our utmost to deliver what we do. That's what I do. And we're proud of the success that we have as a small business. So totally endorse the initiatives here. Great to see that there's a bit of muscle going into it and firmness, because if we just let it just go limp, it's not going to be a good result. So yeah, I really endorse and right behind the initiatives, Mark. Well done. And Melanie.
Thanks, Theo. Rich.
Thanks, Dan. Great to be back and firing for 2023. Great to see all these lively faces and these inspired stories. I like that, Theo. I thought it was going to be a ladder joke in there for a moment. Yeah, I'm Rich Ellis. I am a health coach, and the group I oversee is the North Shore at Noon. We're based at the back of Albany Mall. Feel free to come and visit us. We're on a Tuesday at lunchtime from 12. And so what I do is help individuals and organizations with their health and their movement. So I make sure that people are on the path to better health. I've recently just put together a men's health coaching program for 6 months. So if anybody's interested, or you know some men who probably need a little bit of help steering them onto the right path, then that's what this program is all about. And that's a pattern that I sort of noticed towards the end of last year, particularly. And I thought I need a solution for this because there's more than one person out there struggling and in the same boat. So my number's up there. Feel free to drop me a message. And just finally, thank you for the survey. Obviously, it costs money to invest in these things, but I think it's really, really useful evidence to take back to our groups and put in front of our members and show them what the facts are, and the fact that if they're not turning up, then they're really missing out. And it's not just them that are missing out. They're actually costing the rest of the group inadvertently. I suspect that's something they won't even have thought about. So thank you for all that evidence, because it will be fed back. And I hope you guys all have a great year.
Awesome. Thanks, Rich. There's me. I'm Dan. I run the online group, which is this one. So thank you all for attending. Definitely, yeah, been an interesting year. We excited to see what guest speakers we can bring aboard for you guys. And again, shout out, like, if you guys want to get some advice or hear from a specific speaker or hear about certain topics, definitely let me know and we can find some people. Or if you want to share something yourself, absolutely get in touch. What I do, so we're a digital design agency, so we work with medium businesses who are kind of merging into that large business. So yes, we build websites, we do brands, but our sweet spot's kind of those websites that are a bit more complicated than most. So where they're wanting to integrate with third-party systems, big CRMs, big inventory management systems, when they wanting to do multi-tier wholesale membership subscription websites, all the stuff that makes most people go grey. That's our sweet spot. So definitely working with businesses who are wanting to scale, wanting to expand their business, and also wanting a website that kicks ass and looks better than the competition. So that's the space that we work in, and we love it. So got some awesome opportunities coming up this year. So if you know of a business who has been around for 5 years or so, is wanting to expand, is wanting to automate, streamline a bunch of their processes, that's where we sit. So that's Dan from Ingot. Back to the TNG team. So we've got Mark and Melanie. So Mark's already had.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say Mark's already had his chance to talk. So Melanie, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm Melanie from the networking group. You all know me well. I just want to say one thing. Networking is about people. And it's so nice to see your happy, smiling faces here today. So thank you for giving us your time. We really appreciate it. We are here to help businesses in your groups. We're here to help the members. We're here to help people. I want to ask one thing, and that is please send me photos. Thank you, Malcolm. You've sent me a photo from the Cambridge group. That's awesome. Gemma and I love those photos. We want to splash them around our social media. We want to use them on our blog. We want those happy, smiling faces. So thanks for being here today. Really appreciate it.
A good idea there, Melanie, is everybody that wins the 60 seconds for the day holding the trophy or whatever to get that off.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Yep. Let's promote every member and really add good value.
Great. Thanks, team. We will be back in a fortnight, 10:30 on a Friday. So stay tuned, and thanks for all your input, and all the best for 2023 TNG.
See you guys. Have a great
Thanks, guys.
weekend. Stay safe in Auckland.